I would like to call Dr. Pawan Dugal sir, advocate in Supreme Court, to come over the stage and enlighten us about avenue in cybersecurity.
How many of you have used ChatGPT? Please raise your hands. Wow. So I see almost 80% of people using ChatGPT. How many of you have used GPT-4? Please raise your hands. Okay, so I see relatively less hands. So here is now the problem. If you are a cyber criminal, you now have a wonderful tool. India has become the most populous nation in the world. And the world is looking at us, 1.42 billion people. And then clearly, we have become great people at generating content. In India, there's a unique revolution that's going on. I call it the Great Indian Vomiting Revolution. Indians are vomiting data about their personal, professional, social lives on the internet without even thinking about the same. And number two is another parallel revolution that India is seeing. This is called the Great Indian Recording Revolution. Everybody is recording content. Whether it's personal, again professional, your intimate moments, everybody wants to record everything on their phones. I don't know why. So once you have all of that, that suddenly becomes a fantastic ammunition ground for cyber security breachers to target you. And if your cyber security is breached, I can assure you that you will be more naked than you would be with clothes. Why? Because today we are in the data economy age. My data is my biggest asset. In the times to come, my data will be more powerful, more valuable than my money. So every criminal, every cybersecurity breacher is only wanting to target your data. And how does he do that? By breaching your cybersecurity. So what happens? Should we give importance to cybersecurity? Ask 10 random Indians of what they think on cybersecurity. And 6 of them will say, sir, cybersecurity is a governmental responsibility. We've got nothing to do with it. And I think here is a fundamental flaw. We all fail to realize that we are all chains in a big ecosystem. And we are links in that chain. And the chain is going to be as strong as the weakest link. Therefore, you will have no choices but to give effect or importance to cybersecurity. How many of you in this room have not traveled on Air India? Please raise your hands. Have not traveled on Air India? Oh, I see some hands. So, I presume most of us have traveled on Air India. So when I travel on Air India and I give my data, I presume it's going to be secure. So last year, 45 lakh Indians' data got stolen. How? By unauthorizedly accessing into the computer system. Okay, then what? The said data is available this evening on the dark net for sale. Is it normal data? No. It is data about me, my passport number, my credit card details, my address, my other whatever data that I would give, my location of departure, my location of arrival. And that data is more than sufficient to target you or me. So most of the time in India, we like to gloss it under the carpet. Everything is hunky-dory. We are the best nation. We got nothing else but the most best things. Little do we realize that we don't have much on cybersecurity. I was reading China last week has come up with new rules for regulating artificial intelligence. This is after China in the last 6 years coming up with 3 distinctive national laws on cybersecurity. But we are not doing much on cybersecurity. Does that mean that we don't yet need to give enough importance to cybersecurity? I don't think so. I think cybersecurity will become the life and blood of our lives. in the times to come. Today, Indians have this fantastic fetish for free things or for exchange offers. So my phone is got old, I want to go and get a fresh phone. I give my phone in exchange and get a fresh phone. Ask 100 Indians who exchange their phones, and 90 of them will only tell you, sir, I just deleted all my data and give it back. Without even realizing that when I delete my data on my mobile phone, my data does not go away. It continues to be in the said device. And when I'm giving that device for exchange, that device ultimately goes to some vendor who then culls out data. And that data becomes a wonderful raw material for sale. So therefore, we have to be very consciously clear of cyber security, and we need to be aware of the fact that cyber security is going to open up a huge box of opportunities, of jobs, of consultancy. And mind you now, last year, the government has now come up with a new notification. They say if there is a cyber security breach on your system or network, and you come to know about it, then within 6 hours of coming to know about it, you must mandatorily report this to the governmental nodal agency, being the Computer Emergency Response Team. Okay? What happens if you don't report? The government says, no problem. You don't report, you commit an offense under the Information Technology Act 2000, punishable with 1 year's imprisonment and fine. Akasa Air is a new airline on the block. In the first month of their operations, they got a data breach. Today, we are finding all kinds of companies getting a data breach. So the first great opportunity that I now see is, number one, more cybersecurity professionals. As per NASSCOM, India requires more than 10 lakh cybersecurity professionals. We are not even able to produce that 10 lakhs in 1 year. And mind you, by 2024, we should actually be, as a nation, wanting about 50 lakh cybersecurity professionals. So that's the first great opportunity for educational institutions to start focusing on industry-driven or industry-friendly cybersecurity practices or courses, so that industry realizes, I don't have the time. You may be the best in your academic sphere, but when you come to me for a job, you are a complete zero. You're a fresher. No wonder companies say that, look, 90% of the people who apply are not even employable. So in a scenario like this, if educational institutions can start focusing on building cybersecurity capacities, that could be a great starting point. Number two, cyber forensics is now going to open up new doors. Everybody's phone, device, mobile is going to be hacked somewhere or the other. So you would want to know who has come inside. A lot of times there'll be sensitive personal data, there'll be trade secrets, and you want to know it. A lot of times competition would hack into my system. For that, forensics will play a very important role, and therefore I see a huge potential for forensics as we go forward. Number three, there are now new rules and regulations that are coming up, which will require compliances by all stakeholders who are using the digital format. So in India, please remember, if you are using a computer system, computer network, computer resource, communication device, as also data and information in the electronic form, you are covered under the Indian cyber law, being the Information Technology Act 2000. You are mandated to ensure compliance. You don't comply, no problem. Please realize, ignorance of law is no excuse in the eyes of law. So as a company, as a startup, as a FMCG, or as a normal, even sole proprietorship, you will now have to ensure compliances. And for that, you'll require professionals. And therefore, I see a big opportunity for cybersecurity compliance professionals to come in. Further, ethical hackers are in massive demand. Now, ethical hackers are guys who enter into my network with my permission and identify which are the loopholes so that they can help me close those loopholes and make my systems more secure. So I see huge opportunities, and now with ChatGPT and GPT-4, there are huge problems. Ask ChatGPT that I want to breach the cyber security of this company with this location, these many people. Please prepare a detailed plan for me. Tell me how do I breach. And ChatGPT is most likely to give you very innovative answers to this. Of course, if it doesn't, you still can use prompt command engineering and get some fantastic answers. So cyber criminals are very happy. Why? ChatGPT is free. Number two, all they've learned is some free prompt command engineering prompts, and lo and behold, it's now suggesting them new ways of how to commit breaches of cybersecurity. No wonder ChatGPT has actually now generated a new malware program. This malware program is so sophisticated that it's incapable of being actually identified or even found out by existing anti-malware products. So given these kinds of new developments, I believe there's a huge potential in cybersecurity. I've started an online platform called cyberlawuniversity.com, where I'm offering 37 courses online on cyber law, cybercrime, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. And I can tell you, I was in cyber law and I said, look, who's interested in cyber law? So let me try to experiment. And I came up with some of these online courses. I'm surprised. Last 3 years, we've had 28,500 professionals from 174 countries who have done these courses. You go to Udemy, you find numerous of my courses up there. The messaging that's coming loud and clear is there's need for more capacity building. And I think for all of us in the audience, we must all get to do our self-helps. It's not necessary that only when I get a cut, I must get a band-aid and then put a band-aid on my cut. It's very important that I should try to protect myself and therefore try to protect my data. Most of the time, we are very, very callous about protecting our data, and our data has got huge ramifications. Today in India, in the corporate sector, I find still people like to get the pen drives, copy data, take the data out as if it's their father's property, without realizing the data is the most valuable commodity. So as these corporate data thefts will continue to keep on increasing, there'll be need for more professionals. I see a huge opportunity. The coming of artificial intelligence is going to further complicate the scenario. Already China has now come up with new rules. You must audit your AI program and let me know that it's not going to do any harm to human interest or human values. So we are now coming in a very complex world. We saw presentations on metaverse, whether it's metaverse, blockchain, Internet of Things, quantum computing, it's a different ballgame altogether. So I think in every of these emerging technologies, data is the key fundamental parameter, the common denominator. And if we are able to secure data through appropriate cybersecurity methodologies, good practices, that could be a good starting point. And I'd like to close. A few months back, in America, for almost 12 hours, all the flights were grounded. They said, no, it's just system error. Now you can realize what kind of system error could be. System error can be on one flight, can be on 2 flights, cannot be on all flights in the entire United States of America. Quickly realize how cybersecurity can have a huge problem. Look to our neighbors, Bangladesh. Biman Airlines got a huge demand of a ransomware. We don't know whether they negotiated it or not, but there's a problem. If you become a victim of a ransomware attack, if you give ransom, there's a bigger problem. Number one, you confirm that you have the capability to pay. And number two, you're going to be hit again. If you don't give, in any case, the data is gone. So therefore, we will have to protect our data. Therefore, cyber hygiene, cyber resilience will have to be adopted as way of life. And finally, you will not have to rely upon government for cybersecurity. If you are messing around on your phone, don't expect the government to come to your aid. Don't expect anyone to come to your aid, because you are messing on your phone. I want to just close by asking everybody in the audience, how many of you have an antivirus program on your mobile phone? Please raise your hands. One hand, and I see second hand, third hand. So 3 people have an antivirus program. One final question. How many of you have a firewall on your mobile phone? Please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this will tell you just the wake-up call moment. Well, at least start putting in basic things, free things, a good antivirus, a good firewall to protect ourselves. वो कहते हैं बूंद बूंद से घड़ा भरता है, तो हम अपनी बूंद तो डालने घड़े में, धीरे धीरे घड़ा भरता चला जाएगा. At the end of the day, as I go forward, with each passing month, year, cyber security will become more and more crucial. You lost your data? No problem. Let this be a wake-up call. Let's now try to see how can we protect our data. By the way, how many of you have lost, anybody in this room who's lost money in an online transaction? Okay, you lost some money, ma'am. Okay, fantastic. So you are relatively lucky, guys. Today, you're getting a call or you're getting a message कि आज रात को 9 बजे आपकी बिजली बंद होने वाली है. You already have that बिजली वाला, okay? So आप कृपया आप बिल पे करिए और इस लिंक पे करिए. अगर आपने लिंक पे क्लिक भी कर दिया तो आई कैन गारंटी यू जितने पैसे आपके अकाउंट में हैं सब चले जाएंगे. अगर आप कोई आपको 10 रुपए वाली कहानी किसके पास आती है? आजकल ये नई कहानी शुरू होती है. 10 रुपए. Somebody will call you, sir, हमने गलती से आपके यहाँ 10 रुपए डाल दिए, आप 10 रुपए मुझे वापस कर दीजिए ऑनलाइन. यस, मैंने 100 रुपए डाल दिए, अब 100 रुपए वापस कर दीजिए. Don't fall into those traps because these are booby traps which are ultimately aimed to pull you and suck you in a world of cybercrime and cybersecurity breaches. Ultimately, let's learn to be cautious, to be careful. There's nothing known as absolute security. What was secure yesterday is not secure today. What's secure or cyber secure today will definitely not be cyber secure tomorrow. So hence, let's all join together and contribute in this remarkable ecosystem of making it more cyber secure and milking all the new opportunities, new potentials that cybersecurity as a paradigm is going to bring across to the economy and to the nation at large. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.